Rain on me, rain, 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 rain on me. I wonder why they didn't ask me to do it with them. I hope that snore got picked up because that was loud. Anyway. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam Scott-Thorne and I am a vocal coach based in Glasgow. Now if you'd like to meet and explore your voice a little more, you can find me on sstvocals.com. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and Patreon, and I'll put the handles down below and over there. Over here, there. Don't get your head in the way. There. So if you'd like to consider becoming a patron, you have access to things like early release of reactions. You can become a reaction, fast track them. You've got special roles in my Discord server and you can suggest stuff for me to do. So consider becoming a patron and help shape my channel. So we've got a couple of firsts here. This is going to be my first VMAs performance reaction. This is going to be my first Lady Gaga reaction and my first Ariana Grande reaction. I said their names wrong on purpose. Chill. So they recently performed together. They did Rain on Me, which they released earlier in the year, and I think there's a medley of Chromatica songs. I have not heard any of Chromatica, so this is quite exciting, apart from Rain on Me obviously, but you know. From the thumbnail I can see that they did this wearing masks, so we'll see how that's kind of worked out and what that looks like, but let's just not waste any more time and get on with it, shall we?
On the Way, a performance by Britney Spears and NSYNC, Diana Ross, and Lady Gaga performing live from Chromatica.
Okay. It's like a throwback to some of the big hitters back in the day. Still big now. That would be an awesome way to get out of bed. Haha. Okay, so first off, I'm kind of digging this tune. I'm loving the bass line to it. The mask is really well fitted because it comes kind of up around here, which allows that jaw movement if she needs it. So if she's trying to get into bigger spaces, like resonant places, she can open her mouth. It looked pretty constrictive when I first looked at it. I thought it maybe sat under her chin, but it's allowing that space and it's allowing movement. So that's pretty good. Not much I can say from the vocals so far. It's very mid-place. It's kind of almost speechy. It's all just very punchy, glottal, but very steady and stable. So cool. Now, that was a complete change in direction tone-wise. So it got very nasal. Yeah. So it's not fully nasalized through the velum, because if you were to pinch your nose, then that noise cuts out. Like sing, see, it just stops. Try it at home. But there's a bit of AES, or area epiglottic sphincters, coming into play, which is making that squeezing kind of sound. It just gives it that little push. It makes it sound a lot more kind of slick sounding. and it punches through sound. So it's used a lot in like musical theatre, and it's used a lot in opera. It's a way to cut through a band. Your voice will just ring, hits a certain frequency. It's good, great.
What's up, STD? Let me change real quick. I didn't ask for a free ride. I only asked you to show me a real good time. I never asked for the rainfall. At least I showed up. You showed me nothing at all. It's coming down on me. Water like misery. It's coming down on me. I'm ready, rain on me.
So you can hear that she's gone to the Lady Gaga sound. The thing I think of when I hear her name. It's very heavy, it's very chesty, there's a lot of grit in there. Like that, not like that, but that's kind of where it's coming from. It's more of a shaking of the tissues in her inside her mouth that makes that kind of sound. It's very, very stable. I'm so captivated by the mask. I'm wondering exactly how she's managing to get such a clear sound with something that covers her mouth and kind of makes a dome. So it should, for all intents and purposes, make more of a sound like this, like a Darth Vader-y sound. But it's not. So there's a possibility that there's a microphone inside that mask, like a little radio mic, and that's the thing that's actually picking up. Or it could be that this thing in the front with the lights is actually a really thin filter, so it's kind of sitting more like that, which is allowing that sound to come out more naturally. Sorry if we're going into like acoustics rather than vocals, but the vocal sounds amazing, so let's keep going. Oh, that's Ariana. It's just before Ariana starts. When Lady Gaga went into the chorus, what she's doing is she's bridging up into her higher register and she's thinning out her vocal folds, and it makes kind of a cleaner, brighter sound. I'm not used to hearing her doing that so much, and I'm thinking that she's possibly adopting that vocal tone to blend better with Ariana, because Ariana is known for sitting way up here in this kind of high placed sound, very whispery, airy, which we'll get to. But in order to make a duet sound kind of cohesive, sometimes you have to change your recipe up a little bit to kind of accommodate and match the other person. So I think that's what's happening there. So that is exactly the kind of sound I picture Ariana with if I think about her. It's all very high larynx, it's very aspirate, so there's a lot of airflow going through. It sounds very far back placed as well. Her singing voice and her speaking voice are quite similar. The only difference is that her speaking voice is slightly heavier. She kind of sits back here, like, but then adds air in. And when she sings, it kind of lifts it into this kind of purer sound. It's really, really cool. I'm liking that everything she does has got this element of a smooth. There's a real richness to this tone as well. So as much as she sits kind of in a high larynx place, she must drop somewhat to make that kind of sound. But then she lifts into her higher register. It's quite a strange tone. You don't hear many folk that sound like Ariana Grande. She's almost always up there rather than where singers will push up into that mixy place. She just seems to live there. The mask, hers is just a piece of fabric, like a kind of a traditional one for singing about in, so for cutting about in, going to shops and stuff. Not you wouldn't wear that, but you know, well, you might. So there's less of a barrier there. I'll put on a mask later and we'll see if that makes a difference to the sound, but I can't imagine that it would. So let's keep going. Interestingly there, when they went into that split, Ariana took the lower part and Lady Gaga took the higher part. So Gaga went into a falsetto place, which is where your folds tilt slightly, it's more airflow, but it's still kind of closed at the same time. And Ariana went down and thickened up onto it. Whereas where their voices naturally sit, you'd almost want to put them the other way. But that made a more interesting dynamic, I feel. There's a real power to Ariana Grande's voice as well. Like when she belts, it's really punchy. But also it's very, very well placed, so you don't feel that there's any pressing or effort or too much effort going in. It's just nice and relaxed. Whereas Gaga, there's a lot of kind of force behind her voice. She kind of pushes into these guttural places. Really interesting pairing, to be honest.
I'll be your galaxy. I'm about to fly. Rain on me, tsunami. Head up to the sky. MTV, I'm about to fly.
So this maybe goes to show that that microphone is in her mask, or it's a track, because she's doing this with her microphone and it's still a really consistent sound. That would not happen if that was the mic that she was using. Rain on me, rain on me. It would be like, whoa, 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 whoa. So the microphone must be inside her mask. That's my guess. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of noticed there that Lady Gaga's head was moving way far away from her microphone and she was still getting sound, so it's tracked or there's a microphone inside her mask. I will die on that hill. I will probably get slagged off because people don't like to be told things like that. Okay, so let's test out. Let's see if a fabric mask would sound normal with your vocals. I'm assuming it would, but let's go. Okay. Rain on me, rain on me. Yeah. There's not a huge amount of like muffling, I wouldn't say. The only problem is when I open my mouth, it kind of gets in that space. And then you end up with a little fabric mouth. But I'm assuming that Ariana's mask is better made than mine, which I got like 3 for a $5. So there is that to take into account. Meh. Oh. So this is all being filmed at different times, I'm assuming, because people are appearing and disappearing and outfits are going on and off faster than is humanly possible. But it all just makes for this amazing show. I mean, she's playing a giant brain. That's amazing. Oh. That was really nice, that little lift into her she bridged through about 2 registers, I would say there. Her like lower place, mid place, then into her head voice. Very, very nice, super controlled. This is like the Gaga I know and love, that is really, really forced and pushed. Not forced and not pushed. They're bad words to use when we're talking about singing. But very powerful, very projected, and it allows for a certain amount of characterization of her voice because she can let phrases end pretty kind of punchily, if that is a word. It kind of just like fires out. I really, really enjoy her voice. It's very good and really distinct as well. Also, I know Stupid Love, so this is also from Chromatica, right? Answers on a postcard.
Freak out, freak out, freak out. Look at me. Get down, get down, get down. Look at me. Freak out, freak out. Look at me now. 'Cause all I ever wanted was
love. She's feeling herself there. That was pretty cool. She goes into like a more nasal place sometimes in order to kind of drive that tone through. Freak out, like that. Again, I've got a completely different sounding voice to her, so you're not going to get the exact same tone, but that's what's happening there. She's nasalizing in order to give it a push, and it is really effective. It's just a clever way of using her voice because she's got so many different ways of using it for a variety of different effects. I don't see her doing much of this like riffing up into her higher register though, but then I don't watch much Lady Gaga, so it could be a total thing that she does live and I just don't see it.
I want your love.
Oh, right. Sorry, so many pauses. But you can hear that this mic is live because when she ripped it off the stand, it went so that one's on.
Every day. But I want you to love yourself. Tonight and every night. Celebrate yourself. Love who you are. Be kind. Mask up. Be brave. And braver all the time. 1, 2, make it stupid. I want you stupid love. I want you stupid love. Now it's time to free me from the shame. I gotta find that peace. Is it too late or could this love protect me from the pain? I will battle for you, even though we break into a break out, break out, break out, break out. I get down, get down, get down, get down. Look at me now, 'cause all I ever wanted was love.
I'm absolutely loving this portion of this because you can tell this is like 100% live because you can hear her kind of going trying to catch her breath through all the dancing, and then she's missing out certain bits where she's wanting to take a little breather so that she's got the projection properties that she needs for going into the next part. This is really good. I'm getting a really good kind of vocal profile.
All I ever wanted was love.
She's gone back to bed. Say, I'd need to sleep after doing all that, so I don't really blame her. That was really good. Lady Gaga medley featuring Ariana Grande. Wild. Really, really slick. Still quite confused about which mics were on and which were off and where they were placed and whatnot, because towards the end, where after I said, oh, this is 100% live, because you can hear her like panting and stuff, the mic was again kind of placed all over the shop, and it was still coming out at a really consistent sound. I mean, it could be that it's all kind of done post-production and they've just balanced out the levels. That's a thing. So either way, amazing performance, really good fun. I really like the way that Lady Gaga dances. I don't know what it is about the dancing. It's quite like robotic. And I don't know, I find it fun. I really want to check out some more Lady Gaga performances, because I've seen her when she just sits at a piano and she just like rips the place apart. And also Ariana Grande, I want to check out some more live stuff of hers, because I've seen the power and the kind of crystal clarity in her voice. And it's kind of mind-blowing, to be honest. So if you've got any suggestions for me to listen to, pop them down below, and yeah, let's just do it. So hope you liked that reaction. If you did, please give it a like and a thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more from me, then hit subscribe, ring the bell, and anytime I have new content, you will be the first to know. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me, and how are we gonna buy this one? Oh, hi, Otis. So thank you so much for joining me, and goodbye, goodbye. I want your stupid sup. I'm just gonna go away and crawl into a hole and die, because that was the cheesiest thing I've ever done. Bye.